Bada bing, bada boom, fam. We are back for the good old Daytona 500, the only sport that decides. You know what, guys? Let's put the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season and see what happens thereafter. We are joined here by our NASCAR GOAT Luke himself. Luke, how you been, man? It's been a minute.
I'm pretty good, man. It's been a while since we've had NASCAR DFS, and it's been a few months, but glad we're back.
I hope that when you guys are watching this and you're like, I feel like Travis has a lot of energy right now. I feel like that's the case because it's almost nearly the complete opposite. I literally just got back or just touched down from a red eye flight. Was in a sports betting conference in Vegas all week. Got on my flight, I think it was 11-ish Vegas time. And since I live here in Orlando, Florida, I got home at like like 7 a.m. So here I am. I was like, I'm going to make this gosh dang show. Luke needs me. And here we are. So if you guys have not ever heard anything about NASCAR DFS or knew that we had content for that, Luke, I don't know if you want to go ahead and just kind of go over all of the little intricacies of what you do for NASCAR on a weekly basis. So both cover, mention that it's not just Cup Series, that it's not just DraftKings FanDuel, that Prize Picks, Monkey Knife Fight stuff in there, and then kind of give a quick brief overview of what each individual piece of content you put out, article, cheat sheet, what it looks like, and how to use it. So go ahead and just give them the smorgasbord that is NASCAR content from Luke, aka NASCAR GOAT.
Okay, so I'll start with the Truck and Xfinity series. For those series, I'll usually put out a final thoughts for each, where I'll kind of break down my favorite plays from each price range. I'll have my core plays. FanDuel doesn't have Xfinity and trucks, but DraftKings does. So I'll usually put out either my optimal, my tournament core, or I'll just do like my tournament core, like I did for Xfinity and trucks this weekend. So yeah, I have my cores and final thoughts for those series. And then for Cup, obviously, there's bigger prizes, so you gotta put out a little more. So if you haven't already, make sure to check out my free NASCAR article on dfskarma.com. I go over some of my favorite plays over there. I also have my final thoughts, as well as my favorite prize picks play and my betting card, which I posted in the Discord already. So I'd say that's pretty much the overview. I have core plays for all the series, and yeah.
So I know that if somebody's ever signed up for any of our premium subscriptions over the past, I don't even know how many years, uh, we've been doing final thoughts, the cheat sheet. Kind of give the people who are tuning in specifically for NASCAR, are not familiar with Karma. What exactly is final thoughts, and how they use what you put in there, what you put in this cheat sheet to build a winning lineup?
So basically, we have all the drivers, they're already priced, and all I do basically is just go through and pick whichever drivers I like the most, and I'll rank them based on what I think. So my top plays, I'll call them as cash plays, and those will be like the guys you can play in double ups, tournaments. They're probably going to be the highest owned plays, but they're usually the best plays on a given slate. Then I'll have the guys listed as upside, and those guys could also be used in cash games, but they're plays that might, fly under the radar or have the upside to be those tournament winning plays. And then finally, I'll have guys called GPP, which is basically just guys that I think will be low owned, that I think are good kind of tournament flyers that you can throw into your lineups. And then occasionally I'll put like a fade or two of like if there's like some chalk play that I'm not playing just because I'm not a fan of it. But yeah.
Well, let's was there any fades for this particular one? Is there anybody that you're completely avoiding based on the fact that, like you said, like since we're targeting those further back starters, or there's lower, what is the term? Lower, further
Uh,
back? What, there's like one word term, right? What do you say for those guys?
I would just say the guys starting deep. I don't know.
Starting deep. All
But
right, that works.
yeah.
Any fades on this one? A little sneak peek into the premium final thoughts cheat sheet. Anybody you're fading?
Yeah, I think he's gonna probably be 20% owned today, maybe a little more. I might be wrong, but I'm sure a couple sites have been mentioning how he's probably not a good play this weekend. But I'm more than likely gonna have zero exposure to Kyle Larson. I know he had a dominating season last season and he won the championship. So I think a lot of casuals are gonna see his name and see that he's on the pole and be like, oh, he's a great play today. But they don't really know the whole strategy of stack the back. And I think he's the easiest fade today just because he's going to be high owned. and the odds of him busting are the highest of everyone. So he's my fade of the slate.
Gotcha. I know you guys that if you're watching this for the first time, we do these whenever we do a live stream. The purpose of doing a live stream is so we open the window for you guys to ask questions, get them answered immediately. So whether you're watching this right now on Twitch, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, any of the stuff, any of the channels that we have outreach on, make sure you are asking questions in the chat, and then once they pop up, we'll get to them one at a time. We did have Anthony over on Twitter. He just goes, I just need my 2 to 3 value bets to win. So when we get to the betting side, we can touch on some value bets. I know you already dropped some in the Discord, but we can go into that here in a second. So the first thing I want to do, so kind of break down the order of how the rest of this podcast is going to go. We're going to talk about strategy with this particular type of race, which does have strategy, and we'll explain why in a second. We'll then go to some favorite, cash and GBP plays for DraftKings. And then we'll go into the prop side of stuff, looking at Prize Picks, Monkey Knife Fight props. Both sides have NASCAR props up and live right now. And then wrap it up with some betting things to get to Anthony's 2 to 3 value bets request. So let's go first into the strategic overall breakdown of how someone who is expecting to win money in this race attacks this race from a lineup building side. What should be in their brain while putting a lineup together?
So at Daytona, all the cars, like I'd say the majority, the cars, maybe a couple that are in weaker equipment, all the cars are able to stay together. And this means that we want to play the guys that are starting near the back because of a thing called place differential. And if you don't know what place differential is, it's basically just if a driver, let's say a driver starts 30th and then they finish 20th. If they finish 20th, they would get their fantasy points for where their finishing position and whatever they scored for place differential. And targeting the guys that are starting in the back are great because they offer more place differential than the guys in the front, which gives them more upside and a higher ceiling. Again, not everyone knows about this, so it's not like everyone's going to be doing this. I think people have caught on to the trend over the years of playing people in the back, and it makes sense just because they're the highest upside plays on the slate. So I'd say that's the overall strategy. But in GPPs, we can't just play 6 guys starting below 30th. I know it's a very safe approach, and it's like, yeah, but that's what you said to do, stack the back. But we have to take a couple chances on guys starting in the teens, or maybe even like one guy inside the top 10, like a Ryan Blaney or like a Brad Keselowski or something like that. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty much the overall strategies. Play the majority of the guys starting in the back, and then maybe like 1 or 2 inside the top 20. And that's how you can win the Millionaire Maker. So,
which somebody watching this stream or part of Carmination is going to win. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee it's going to happen. We do have a question from Scott on YouTube. What 2 drivers would you avoid pairing together in a single entry? A little strategic question there.
Okay, I like this question because I honestly have a good answer for it. I think in single entry stuff, obviously if you're playing cash games, you have to pair them together. But I think in single entry, I think a good way to get a little different is to avoid playing Austin Dillon and Eric Almirola together. I know they're both great place differential plays, but the odds of both of them working are very, I'd say they're lower than what their ownership's going to be together. Because I think a lot of people are going to pair them together, even though the odds of them working together are low compared to.
So if you're recommending choosing one of the 2 as a differentiator, which one of those 2 would you use in this theory?
I'm just trying to. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which one's going to be higher on. My guess is Almirola is going to be a little higher on, so I would say Austin Dillon in that case.
All right. So don't stack the 2 in single entries. You want to get slight variance. Okay, yep. Gotcha. Another question from we got Melissa here, one of our NASCAR subs. She says, "Do you still like Hemrick?"
Yeah, I do. I saw that one of the NASCAR reporters said that Hemrick's starting from the rear because he failed inspection. I'm checking right now if he failed again, because if he fails again, that means he has to do a pass through at the start, which will put him in a bad position. And I know there's still 200 laps. So there's plenty of time for him to come back. But if anyone sees anything about Hemrick, just drop it in the chat.
So let's see. Scott has another question. On the flip side, what drivers should you pair in a single entry? This guy. He's literally saying, "Can you build a single entry for me on the stream?" Go ahead.
So 2 drivers, right?
He just says pair drivers in
Uh,
general. So yeah, 2 drivers you would pair just from a strategic point of
okay.
view.
So I would say if you're pairing 2 guys, I think you could probably do. I kind of like doing like if you're playing Denny Hamlin because obviously he's the best player in the slate. I would do probably Denny and then Noah Gregson just because he's starting all the way back in 39. So that'd be probably my favorite single entry pairing to start a lineup.
Okay. Melissa says that she heard that he does have a pass through. That is information that you need.
So that definitely lowers my interest a little bit. But the thing we have to keep in mind is this is a 500-mile race. So he's probably going to go a lap down at the start, but he still has plenty of time to get it back, and he'll be just fine. I'm hoping if people overreact to this, then I kind of like the Hemrick play more because he might go under-owned than what he should be. So that's my thoughts.
So my NASCAR knowledge in a nutshell on a 1 to 10, I think at the highlight of my life, which is like what, late 90s, good old the Jeff Gordon era, it was at a 10. And then I feel like every year I drop off a point. So like right now, when you're talking about pass through, I don't understand what that means. So fill me in. What exactly is a pass through in the situation that this Hemrick guy is in?
So basically at the start of the race, he's already starting from the back anyway, but all he has to do is on the first lap while they're getting up to speed, he has to go down pit road, which it's obviously he's not going to go 190 miles per hour down pit road, but he's got to go the pit road speed, which will get him probably over a half lap behind. And the problem with that is once he comes out, he's going to be by himself and he's going to have no one to draft off of. So the big pack over time is going to begin to catch him. And unless there's an early caution, he's going to go a lap down.
Okay, so it's extremely similar to, I don't know if you've been watching Winter Olympics with the cross country skiing. Like if they have a penalty in the biathlon, they have to like do an extra lap around a certain area before they're allowed to rejoin the race.
Okay.
The biathlon, by the way, to me is the craziest Winter Olympic sport. If you guys are not watching the Winter Olympics and you have no idea what the biathlon is, it is awesome because they have a sniper rifle on their back and they have 2 skis. Then you're like, hey, I need you to ski as fast as you can for a mile. Then compose yourself, grab this rifle off your back, hit these 5 targets from crazy distance away. If you hit all 5 of them, boom, you're back in the race. If you don't get all 5 within like 8 shots, like I was just saying earlier, you have to take a penalty lap and this other random like circle off to the side before you could rejoin the race. It's the craziest Winter Olympic sport, people. It's already over, so you can't watch it. They're already done it, but I know that we're staying on topic clearly here. So let's see. Stuart just jumps in with a vroom vroom. Good question. I like it. Here is the question of the stream. This is the question that AC usually comes in here and asks, but it looks like this episode is going to be Ron M on YouTube. How much is too much money to leave on the table making a lineup? So kind of go through that number and then explain why.
So I would say you probably shouldn't go over 5,000, and usually it's higher, but this year I don't think we should be going like 8,000 just because a lot of the expensive plays are starting the back. So if you look at like the salaries, Denny Hamlin's starting 30th, he's expensive. Joey Logano's starting 20th, he's expensive. Byron Harvick, Austin Dillon, others, they're all starting near the back, which makes them probably the highest projected plays. So yeah, I think that we're gonna have to have exposure to some of those guys, and by the time we finish our lineup, it's not going to be like 8,000 on the table just because we're playing multiple of those drivers. So that's my thoughts on that.
So just to kind of repeat to make sure I understand what you're just saying, you're saying that in a normal situation, in a normal Daytona 500, that we are having a tons of money left on the table because of the type of race it is, the fact that we are targeting players in the back. But you're saying this particular Daytona 500, there are extremely high-level skilled, fast drivers, fast cars in the back, which increases their salary even more because they're having that place differential variable in there. Was I reading that correctly?
So yeah, DraftKings kind of got a little, I'd say, lucky with this because they did the pricing before qualifying,
Right.
and fortunately for them, a couple guys like Denny Hamlin are starting in the back. So yeah, that's what yeah.
So essentially, Danny Hamlin is, from my understanding of everything, I know his skill. He's a fast. He always has a fast car, but you're saying he's expensive and in the back, so he's probably going to be 100% owned.
Yeah, he's gonna be the highest owned driver in every single contest today. I don't know what his ownership's gonna be in the Millionaire Maker, but I think it's gonna hover around 50.
Okay, so let's go. So Millionaire Maker, of course, you want to get that 150 lineup, so you have an equal odds chance of winning as everybody else in that. Something we always recommend is like if you join a massive 150x a contest with like 3 entries, then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot from the get go. But let's just look at like a single entry. So how risky is it in a single entry to fade someone of like Hamlin, who's probably going to be an insanely high owned number because he is in the back, with that ability to not only get back to the front, but collect those, 30 place differential points?
Yeah, I think Hamlin is by far the riskiest fade on the slate. But you got to tell yourself a story, and you got to tell yourself that like he could be running top 5 with 2 to go, and then someone makes a mistake, and then Hamlin gets taken out and finishes like 25th, and then he busts those lineups. You just got to go off. You got to go off your gut, and that's what I've been doing with trucks and Xfinity this weekend, and it's been working pretty well. So yeah.
Does Hamlin currently have any enemies in this race?
Enemies? I would say I don't think he's got anyone right now, but
All right.
maybe.
So there's no reason for someone to intentionally take him out, unless, of course, they're going for gold, in the last lap or two.
Maybe Chase Elliott, but yeah.
All right. Watch out for Chase Elliott. So Tyler, you guys gonna do any picks for prize picks? Yeah, we're gonna go over that in a second here. Something else that I didn't mention at the beginning is one of our top partners, who I keep saying this, like I will drive this point home until I wind up getting it tattooed on my forehead. Jock Market is the easiest app to make money on. If you have the ability in your state, which if they're in like 40%, 45, no, maybe even more than that. I think they're like 75% of the states, you can play this app, this game, this contest called Jock Market. You just go to JOCKMKT, jockmarket.online, sign up, download their app, use promo code KARMA to get the $100 deposit bonus. It is the easiest app to make money on. And we're just trying to get more and more people to understand that. They're like, well, like, I don't understand. People fear change. They don't like to learn about new things. It's the easiest thing. You just got to get one share of a player. And if he outperforms his projections, you win money. You don't have to compete against 100,000 million other people. Can you make $1 million in a single contest? No, it's impossible to do that. But you can get money just by making a decision on one player, as opposed to, a DraftKings lineup with, 6 or however many. So let's go ahead and we'll do one more DFS focus question, then we'll move over to the prize picks, monkey knife fight props and stuff. So we talked about strategy, targeting guys in the back. However, there's a lot of guys in the back who are guys that should not be in the back, just based on their skill set and their car they have, quality of the car. What other tidbits of strategy are we targeting for? Let's just focus more on this Millionaire Maker, because we know everybody wants to put at least a few entries in here. With all things we've already went over, leaving the money on the table, but you have these guys that are going to be heavily owned because they're in the back. Right now, when you're building the perfect Millionaire Maker lineup in your brain, what are like a few of the things floating around? Like, I think the winning lineup is going to have X, Y, Z or ABC. If that question made sense to you, it made sense to me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So yeah, you just got to decide, which chalk are you willing to play? And I think the highest owned guys today are going to be Hamlin, Logano, Austin Dillon, Almirola, and probably Noah Gragson. Those are the 5 that people are going to build around. And I'm not saying you have to fade all of them, but I think you have to make a decision on which ones you want to play in your lineups. You can play all 5, but guess what? You're going to get duplicated. And I don't think anyone wants to split the milli with a bunch of people. And the odds of them all working are pretty low anyway. But I would say the overall strategy in the Millionaire Maker is just pick a couple of those guys, and then take a couple chances on some guys starting in the teens. I mentioned one in my article that I'm really liking, considering he won at Talladega last fall, and I think he could fly under the radar today. So I would say, yeah, just play a couple guys starting below the 30th, a couple guys in the 20s, and then maybe 1 to 2 in 11 through 20. I don't think you have to play anyone inside the top 10 today.
And then the last question before we move over to props and betting and stuff is who is, and for, like I said, we're still in the mindset of building a lineup that's going to win us $1 million here today. Who is the cheapest person that you have confidence in not ruining your lineup?
Cheapest driver. I would say Todd Gilliland. I wrote in the Discord that I'm starting to like him more because I think he's going to go under-owned for just because people don't recognize the name. But the thing with Todd Gilliland that he has going for him is he's in a Ford, and we all know that the Fords have had a lot of success at the super speedways. And we also saw his teammate last year, Michael McDowell, pull off the upset last year, and he won the Daytona 500. So I think he makes for a great play. And he's starting 29th, so he's not going to be like super high owned because people are going to play most of the guys starting below 30. Because if you asked me who would I rather play, the guy starting 29th or 32nd, most people are going to say the guy starting 32nd. The guy 29th will be lower owned. So yeah, Todd Gilliland's the cheapest I would go today.
All right, so now let's take a hop, skip, and a jump over here to some other content. So something else I was going to show you guys. So right now there is a handful of free to view content on dfskarma.com every week. What Luke does, as you can see here, he has a article called Luke's List. This is something that's 100% free to view. If you're in our Discord already, we already dropped the links to this in the NASCAR channels. But if you're not someone who wants to be part of a chat room with multiple thousands of other people working together to create winning lineups, if that's not for you, it's okay. Go to dfskarma.com every week. Check out this Luke's List. And of course, I want to focus on the fact that he doesn't just focus on cup races. This guy's got content for everything. If it's a race, this man's going to find content for it. So something else we're going to target on. This is his final thoughts. This is the cheat sheet. I know you can't see it too big on screen right now, but this is the part of a premium subscription. So he highlights orange cash, purple GPP, green upside. Puts the salary, the name, their starting position, and then a quick blurb about them as well. This is the bee's knees when it comes to building your lineup. And then, of course, the NASCAR lineup optimizer. You can use our SS projection here, which you see next to each of these drivers. Click build lineups. And if you're doing the Millionaire Maker, you're like, I don't feel like putting 150 lineups together, or I don't even know how. You can click build lineups, click 150, download the CSV file, upload it, and you can have 150 lineups for the Millionaire Maker within a matter of, I want to say, 30 seconds max. So that's another feature you have here. So this is part of our premium optimizer package, or the MVP Ultimate if you have that. And then you can get NASCAR Final Thoughts, NASCAR Core Plays as well for just signing up for the NASCAR Weekly or NASCAR Monthly. And now that we're going to head over here to Monkey Knife Fight Prize Picks, if you want to save $100 on our NASCAR Premium Pass, which covers all NASCAR DFS content for the entire calendar year, and this stuff goes on for a while. I mean, we got races all the way until like early November this year.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to get the season pass, you save $100. This promo ends at the end of today. We've been doing it all week long. Save $100. Just go to dfskarma.com/pricing. Go to NASCAR, the season NASCAR pass. Sign up. Use promo code Daytona. Daytona is the promo code. It saves you $100 off the entire season pass. We've already had a lot of people hop on that because who doesn't like saving money? So now that we're here to the prop side of things, I know you were going to talk about Prize Picks first, I think. So on Prize Picks, we have 4 different categories. We have fantasy score, laps led, fastest laps, cars passed. So what are we thinking is, out of these 4 categories, which one do you like the most and which one do you hate the most, just from just you and just like a props perspective, I guess? Like, which one of these you're like, I hate this one, I'll probably never deal with this one, or this one's like my favorite one to look at?
I would say probably cars pass would probably frustrate me the most, just because it just comes down to where they finish. And then both those guys, and the problem is they only have a couple and I get why they have those two because they're both starting inside the top 5. It basically just comes down to if they wreck, they'll hit their over. If they don't wreck, they'll probably go under.
Okay. So do you want to focus on fantasy score, or do you like the laps led? I mean, laps led and the fastest laps only give you 2 options, so there's not much there.
I would fantasy score.
All right. So we'll do a little freebie here for you guys. Let's do a free 2-pick for the show. Once it hits, you guys will have zillions of dollars to go ahead and get that season pass that we just mentioned. So if you are going to do a 2-pick, your favorite 2 drivers based on their current number of fantasy score, who are we targeting for this free 2-pick for everybody watching the show right now?
I'm just looking because they updated the numbers a little bit.
My man Bubba Wallace doesn't even get a headshot. Man.
Come on. I hate doing this just because I'm a big Kyle Busch fan, but he's never won a Daytona 500 before, and I'm hoping he wins one soon, but he has the worst luck at the super speedways. So I think the Kyle Busch under is a good place to start.
We're looking, so you're taking Kyle Busch under 32.5 points, and who are we going to be pairing with this man?
Let's see. Another driver I don't think's had a lot of luck in the super speedways over the last 10 races. I don't even know what his best finish is, but he's been terrible. But Martin Truex Jr., I think he goes under as well. You can target overs at the super speedways, but you gotta keep in mind they're pretty risky considering a driver can wreck at any point.
All right, so just to recap, under Kyle Busch, 32.5, under 32.5, Martin Truex Jr., under 27.5. You do a power play. If both those guys go under, you get 3x. So just for argument's sake, you decide to do $100 with your bankroll in there. Boom. It's a $300 payout. So if you want more of that, if you're like, hey, this NASCAR prop stuff actually looks pretty cool, where do I get more? Get in the Discord. We're always dropping stuff in the Discord as well, or you can sign up if you only care about the prop stuff, like if you're not somebody who plays on DraftKings or FanDuel, and you're all about price picks, Monkey Knife Fight, like a lot of our we have a huge chunk of people in our community that are like that, are props only. Go sign up for the props package. It includes plays like this as well. And you can get that by going to dfskarma.com/props. Let's go to Monkey Knife Fight. Let's see if we can find anything we like here. So Monkey Knife Fight is similar to Price Picks, but they have pairings or forced pairings. So you have to just click through all of their options and find something that you 2 or 3 or 4 players together that you actually like, or that you actually have a side on. So it looks like they are all fantasy points. I guess they didn't go to stats yet. Ooh, there's a 400x, 10x. Oh my gosh, we got to do this for the podcast.
Imagine.
We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this for the pod, guys. We're going to get you guys a 400x. All right, right there on the screen, you see them. 400x, 10 pick for all the marbles.
It's a lot of pressure. All right, let's see. All right, so if you're doing this, what is it, 400x?
400x. So if you put $10 on it, you get yourself a nice little payday, a nice little $4,000 payday.
All right, so I would say Larson under.
And these are all fantasy points if you can't read that part.
Yeah, I got it. Hamlin over.
Actually, are you aware of their scoring?
Yeah, I know their scoring because they don't have place differential. I don't think. So.
I think their scoring is just finishing.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to guess where they finish.
So if he's 14.5, we're saying that he's going to get 6th place or better.
Yep, and he could lead laps too. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, continue.
Okay. I would Chase Elliott over. Ryan Blaney under. Logano under. Brad under. Kyle Busch under. Bowman under. Harvick under.
You don't think
Byron
that
over.
Larson starting first, Blaney starting 7th, Kozlowski 3rd, Busch 10, Bowman 2 have any chance of finishing in the top 12?
In the top 12?
Well, because they're like him right here is like Bowman starting 2, but we're going under 12.5, so we're saying that he's not going to be finishing the top 12. So you don't think that any of these starting 5 are going to be finishing in that top spot at all?
Wait, Quick fans 12 and a half, I don't think it's 12, is it?
Oh, I
Ninth?
no, I thought it was matched to the place
Yeah,
itself.
yeah.
So yeah, he has to get 8th.
But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you just got to, because a lot of the guys that start inside the top 10 aren't going to finish there. And I think you got to take a bunch of unders and then take a couple overs and hope those are the guys that are there at the end.
and then for Byron, what was your over under for him?
Over.
All right, so he needs finish 10th or better. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we've just put together a 10 pick on Monkey Knife Fight. If you don't have an account on Monkey Knife Fight, go to monkeyknifefight.online. Monkeyknifefight.online. Use promo code KARMA. You get a $100 deposit bonus. It's 100% up to $100. Same concept with Prize Picks. PrizePicks.online. Promo code KARMA. 100% deposit bonus up to $100. If this 400x hits, I'm going to clip it. We're going to blast on social media. And if you guys don't power this thing to 6 bajillion views, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, so let's I guess we can go ahead and let me check if there's any other questions on the Dots the good picks, playing Prize Picks. Devontae, what's going on, man? And I think the only other thing is kind of just touching from a betting standpoint. I know you dropped some bets already in the Discord, which the Discord is free to view, people. Just go to dfskarma.com, which is our website, dfskarma.com/chat. Type that, put in your browser. It'll automatically send you to our chat room where thousands and thousands and thousands of others of DFS and sports betting enthusiasts are there sharing their knowledge and information on a 24/7, 365 schedule, helping you make more money. So if you're interested in NASCAR and you're like, man, I can't find anybody to talk NASCAR DFS or NASCAR betting about, get in the chat room. Luke would love to talk to you. If it's like time for Luke to tuck himself in, go to sleep, but a question pops up saying, Luke, what do you think about this? What Luke's going to do? Luke's going to pop up and ask that question. Anyway, so now that we've painted that picture, sports betting wise, besides what you dropped in the Discord, Anthony did hop in on Twitter and ask 2 to 3 value bets. So 2 to 3 long shots, which of course, because this type of race, I feel like those are the more fun bets to do anyway, because something can happen at the front and they automatically, a 30 to 1 favorite wins because of just a simple crash in the front of them. Some long shot bets, 2 to 3 is what the question was from Anthony. What do you have for the Daytona 500?
So I don't know if he asked that before, but I think he saw them in the Discord. But I'm still gonna share them with you guys. But
okay,
my 3 favorite long shot picks. First one is probably Eric Jones. He's 60 to 1 to win, but he's put himself in a position multiple times to win before. He won at Daytona in a JGR car. I forgot what year. I think it was 2018 or 2019, but he won at Daytona in that car. And the 43 car is decent equipment, and we've seen him run well at these races in the past. And I feel like he's one of the drivers that's always there at the end. I know, it's hard for it to happen, but if you keep putting yourself in a position, eventually, you're going to find victory lanes. So he's my favorite. He's my first favorite at 60 to 1. My next one is Cole Custer at 70 to 1. I like targeting the Fords. He's got plenty of guys to work with, including his Stewart Haas Racing teammates, Harvick, Almirola, and Briscoe. And I think his odds are too low at 70 to 1. I think he should be more like 50 to 1. He has a Cup Series win last year at Kentucky. And then my third long shot, he's
who is the first one you said again? I just because I was pulling up the FanDuel Sportsbook to just compare the odds on it.
Eric Jones.
All right, yeah, because FanDuel's got Eric Jones at 50 to 1, and then you said Cole Custer 55 to 1, so you get a little bit better odds. And then who's number 3?
And then number 3 is Ty Dillon. He's back in the Cup Series. He's had a lot of success at the super speedways, including multiple top 5 finishes over his Cup career. And I think he's an aggressive driver that's willing to, put himself in a position. And yeah, I think at 100-1, I think that's a steal. So yeah, those are my 3 favorite long shot picks.
All right, so we got Ty Dillon, Cole Custer, and Eric Jones. Depending on the sportsbook you have, there's different payouts, which is why we recommend on a daily basis that you have, if you're in a state, a legal state that has multiple legal sportsbook options, you have an account on every single one of them. We don't have it built into betkarma.com at this moment, but it is somewhere on the to-do list. I can't specifically detail where, but on the to-do list to have something like how we have odds comparison for NFL, college basketball, NBA, and the other ones we have, but to have something that has, particularly for these, just outright to win bets, that you can go to this page once it's built, and it literally will just say, let's just say Eric Jones. You go to Eric Jones, and then it would be like DraftKings Sportsbook has been, 5,500, 5,000, stuff like that. So we creating an odds comparison for that NASCAR. That's the point of trying to get a cost. So as NASCAR betting continues to grow with the industry of sports betting growing, and of course NASCAR DFS growing, that is something that we're looking at as well. Because once we get to these part of these podcasts, and like, wait a second, he just said this guy was 1,001. Why is he only 71? Well, hop over to this tool in the future and see where you get your most bang for your buck on a guy you're going to be betting on anyway. Now, if there are any other questions that have not been asked or answered, we can do another 30, 60 seconds here to for you to ask them. Devontae, your question on Facebook was, how do you win? First time trying to see how. Is your question on the betting side? Because that kind of just came through. So Devontae, are you asking how to win a NASCAR bet? Or is it something prop focused that we talked about before that, or DraftKings? Try to put as much detail into your question as possible, because I'm not sure just by reading it right now what exactly you're referring to. But while we give everybody this 60-second window to type in a question across anything NASCAR, is there any other 2 cents of wisdom, Luke, that you want to shine upon the souls of Karma Nation?
I would just say, NASCAR season's back, and we got our first ever Millionaire Maker, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. And obviously, if I don't win it, hopefully one of you does. So yeah, it should be fun.
So something that I was trying to remember what things that we did last year, and I wanted to make sure that if there's anything we did on last year's streams that I want to bring back. And I think I remembered one of the things, which I know we just went over the value bets and stuff like that, but I want to know your, not based on odds, your driver to win, the guy that you believe is going to win, odds unrelated. Even if he's like the favored Vegas driver, like, who do you think is going to win this race? Because how he does these types of race, where he's at, like, one wreck happens and now he's going to win first place, or he's got the fastest car, whatever your reasoning is, who to you is going to win this race?
My gut says William Byron. He's not up there for like highest odds, but I just think that he's on Hendrick, and they're always fast at the super speedways. They always work with each other, and I just feel like he's a guy that can put himself in a position. He won at Daytona last, I think 2020, last in the summer, so he knows how to win here. I think he's 0 for 3 in finishing at the Daytona 500, but I think he's about to make it 1 for 4 in victory lane.
And then my follow-up question, which you may have already answered, was, who's the long shot odds-wise to win the Daytona 500? And I'm guessing, just because the craziest odds of the 3 guys you already gave, I would say Ty Dillon, or do you have anybody crazier than that you believe could win? If everything that needs to happen happens, of course.
Yeah, I would probably say Ty Dillon. I'm not sure what Noah Gregson's odds are, but we've seen him have a lot of success in the we've seen Brendan Gaughan, if you've been playing NASCAR DFS for a while. He had a lot of success at the super speedways in the 62 car, and I think he's an interesting sleeper pick that could win as well. So
you said Noah Gregson?
Yep.
Yeah, so right now, well, FanDuel anyway, which I pulled up, Ty Dillon's at 90-1 and Noah's at 10-1 or 100-1. So
Okay. So yeah,
slightly worse. But yeah.
there's no
I don't see that. I don't see Gon anywhere. Is he? No.
He's making his first Cup Series start.
Oh yeah, FanDuel doesn't have him on their list at all.
He's an Xfinity regular.
Those jerks. All right, so let's see. Yeah, Devontae, if we didn't get your revised question in here to know how to fully answer that. So what you need to do is just hop into the chat room and then ask myself or Luke in there, and we'll try to figure out how to help you when getting more specifics on what exactly you're playing or looking at, which goes for everybody else as well. Let's follow this conversation. We still have over an hour to lock, so everybody hop in the chat room, dfskarma.com/chat, CHAT, if you know how to spell chat, dfskarma.com/chat. In the React for Rolls channel, just type on the race car and it'll automatically open up all of the NASCAR channels for you. But yeah, good luck to everybody. If you still have not signed up for NASCAR Premium, there's plenty of time because everything is instant access. So as soon as you sign up, whether you're saving the $100 on the season pass by using promo code Daytona, or you're signing up for the weekly or the monthly, whatever you want to do, as soon as you sign up, you have instant access. So if you sign up, right, like let's just say 2 seconds ago you signed up, boom, you go to the website, you can see all the core plays, you can see the final thoughts, anything that's premium on the site, you can see it. So still, even though we still have just about an hour left to lock, there's still plenty of time to check those out. But good luck to everyone. I do want to see a bright orange logo up there in the first place spot for the Millionaire Maker. And now I'm going to be texting AC feverishly to make sure that he is maxing the Millionaire Maker, because by golly, he's going to max this thing. All right, appreciate you tuning in, and Luke, thanks for being with us here. Let's see some sexy screenshots today. What do you say?
Let's see it. I got 2 things before we head out.
All right.
During the race, especially this weekend, do not check your winnings until the race is over. Things are going to change dramatically throughout the entire race. You can be winning $1 million with 5 to go, and that lineup might not even win. So please don't be that person that checks and they're winning $1 million and then they're like, how did I not win?
So an easier way to tell you what Luke is trying to say is that if there's a period of you have to wait before you get excited. If you think with one turn left that because you're winning $1 million, you can call up your boss, cuss him out, and say you're never working there again, I'm rich. Luke's telling you to wait on that email. Do not send that email until everything is finalized. Any kind of score corrections are adjusted there. And then you said you had something else you wanted to add as well.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember what it was, but yeah,
Well, when you remember it, you can drop it in the Discord.
I'll drop it in the Discord. So I got you. Oh, I got it. If you're still making your lineups, just obviously you can look at the data and stuff, but at the end of the day, we're all just kind of guessing. So I'd say just go with your gut. That's what I've been doing, and it's been working. So just tell yourself a story and go with that.
Unless your gut has a 0% success rate, then just go against your gut. But use your gut nonetheless. Just know if it's a good gut or a bad gut. All right. So I'll go to wrap this up here, and we'll continue all the chit chat talks, including the fact that we dropped a 400x winner live for free on this live stream. And you guys better put that in, even for like a couple bucks. Exactly. That's gonna be a sick hitter. All right. I'll see you guys. Thanks, Luke, and good luck, everyone.
Good luck, guys.